Hi there. Sorry for not missing us last week, but welcome to anybody that watches this week. How's it going, Craig?
Good evening, Johnny. Yeah, sorry about last week. That was my fault on Saturday night. I was very much forgot all about it. So, yeah, on me. Apologies for last week. But we're into week 6 now. It's now week 6 and getting one more, nearly halfway. And, some teams are flying, some teams not so much. Some teams started well and have fallen away badly. And
Which I'm
others
sure of,
started
yes.
badly and are starting to motor now. So, very interesting weekend, and we'll skip over. We'll skip through. We'll discuss week 5 as we discuss week 6 as well.
So we'll start off with the Varsity Blues up against their regular, the favourites before the draft. The Hide and Seek 96.86 against the Varsity Blues 72.78.
Yeah. So
That's
I
with
mean,
loss of
Graham
minus
was.
points as well.
So here's this. Here's the story behind this one. So Graham's got beat again last week against Sean. Sean's on a roll. So Graham's lost last week. He's coming into this week, and I'm sitting and I've not got a kicker. I currently don't have. I didn't have a kicker. And I'm sitting and I'm going, oh, this isn't this week. This is the week before. I'm say against Allen, and I thought, go. I'm not going to win the game anyway. I'm going to go without a kicker. I'm going to go without a kicker. And then right at the last minute, I thought, you can't. You've got to give yourself a chance. I'd convinced myself that I had a sniff of winning. So I thought, come on, you need to go and pick up a kicker. At like 5:45 on Sunday night, I went and I picked up a kicker. And who am I going to drop? I didn't want to drop anyone. I thought I'm going to sneakily try and quietly drop Cole Kmet and pick him back up again next week. I've already had to drop Michael Wilson to bring in Trey Sermon, and some bugger picked him up and paid more than I was willing to get him back. But anyway, at this point, I'm thinking I don't want to lose them both. I'm going to go for it. So I dropped Kmet. And then I immediately went and added them back again with paying $7. I thought $7 will do it, just in case someone does come and try and be cute. And dropped him, brought in the kicker, got absolutely whoop-assed anyway. Alan gave me an absolute doing. And then Graham comes in with a bigger bid than me and picks him up. And, well, as you can see here, after his loss the week before to Sean, he brings in Komet, 19 points,
19
and boom,
points.
there you are.
Yeah.
Right back at you. So that's what I am putting Graham's win down to. I'm putting it down to him screwing me over royally. I hope
Well,
you're proud of yourself, Purvis.
he did that in the Dynasty. I remember picking up Jonathan Brooks because he had the
Come
number one
on,
waiver.
that was Mark dropping Jonathan Brooks, and he got in there,
Yeah.
and he gleefully told me about it at tennis because he was the number one, but he knew he was the number one waiver, so he was getting him regardless. So he gleefully told me. But as you can see here, he's had Mostart on bye week, Cup out.
Mahomes on bye, Rowan on
Williams
bye,
on bye week, Mahomes on bye week. And he's
and he
still
still
building
scores.
a team that can score 96 points, So 3-3, and I would say that Graham's now starting to fly because Mo starts back, and he's going to be a better runner without Tua than Achan is, because he can kind of run through tackles a bit better than Achan can, and they're just teams are just stopping the run against Miami at the moment, unless Tua's back. Of course, is Tua back this week?
Not that I know of. Maybe next week,
I've
week
not.
after, but I don't think he's back yet.
Yeah,
And a
I've not heard
couple will be
talking
back
about
this
it.
week.
Oh, week 8, I think week 8 that we're talking about. But anyway, yes. So Mostart, I think Mostart will be big for him this week. I can see him putting him in. Cups looks like he's going to be back, if not this week, next week. So it's looking good for Graham. You have to say, and scunners me that he's got my Komet. It really does. It absolutely scunners me. And to be fair to him, he done the same in week 2. He dropped Ferguson. He had Jake Ferguson, and he dropped him in order to field someone in week 2, and someone picked him up when he wanted to go and get him back in week 3. So it did happen to him, and he was struggling at tight end. So I guess I shouldn't have dropped the tight end. I should have dropped someone else. But anyway, well done, Graham. Good win. And Grote you know, he's 2-4 now. He's still, the team's okay now. You know, he's got Walker back. He's got Allen doing quite well. I mean, he's lost. He's only got 72 points. Isn't a bad score and with non PPR, you know. So, but it's what he's got in his bench as well. You know, he's got Pittman there too. He had Addison on bye week. Hawkinson's going to be.
Hawkinson back as well.
I mean, if he can find a win this week and get himself to 3-4, Grote's right in the thick of it. To be fair to him,
he's now got the number one wide receiver in Vegas, as long as he doesn't get traded. Got
indeed,
Miles.
yeah, and it's and I mean the number one receiver in Vegas is Brock Bowers. Let's not kid ourselves on, but Miles is certainly the second top receiver in Vegas. So
Number one,
that
the number one wide receiver. Then, well, that's pretty mental.
Yeah, I don't think Grote's. He needs to win this week. I would say he does need to win this week. But the team is solid enough that it could very much find it, you know. And if he does, he's in the chase, and you know, at the halfway point, 4-3, 3-4. That's not a bad place to be. Either or is not a bad place to be. You need to be, if you're 3-4, you need to be 3-4 winning, not 3-4 losing.
I wouldn't know. So we've got the Doug IBWT SMTM 80.7 up against the Blue Toon Patriots 102.16. Is that the highest score? No, there's a higher one than that.
So in Baxter, we trust was getting awfully excited after week 5. You know, he scored 132 points to beat Kirkwall Raiders, and that was and after all his moaning beforehand, Johnny, you heard them greeting like a little girl's blouse. So he was, and you're allowed to say girl's blouse still, aren't you? Anyway, it
you can call it what you want.
Greeting like a little girl's blouse that Neighbours isn't back and Brown's on bye week. Oh, I'm going to lose this week. I'm going to lose this week. And then Thursday night comes around and Kirk Cousins goes out and scores 38 points.
Yeah.
And it shut him up. So anyway, 132 points a week before against Kirkwall Raiders. He came into it on a high, on a winning, you know, winning the week before. And Blue Toon Patriots, they gave me a Royal Hiding. They gave me a Royal Hiding with 117 points. That was the game that I went with the kicker anyway. Why did I bother? And lost Komet. So yeah, Blue Toon Patriots were 4-2 coming in. Are 4-2 now. And Baxter Trust 3-3. But coming into the game, Doug was on a high, and until he started moaning. But he obviously got beat, and he got beat quite considerably, 102-80. I mean, I'm just having a look at the team now to see what went on. Really, I mean, he's the Jacobs thing. Jacobs is doing great if he can just find the end zone, isn't he?
Yeah, but it was Jordan Love throwing everything at the end zone on last week.
That's the thing, and is that the way the season's going to go? Is Jacobs going to be maybe, you know, 9-10 point guy? He'll get in the end zone maybe 3 or 4 times this season. I don't think so. I think the touchdowns will come for him. I really do. But a goose egg for Gazicki didn't help him much in
no.
And this one, I mean, it's not bad scoring from any of them, and 80 points is decent enough. But he ran into Chris, who's flying, and another week way over 100 points, and that's with Bigsby going for only 2.4. And Mason
Chris Godwin 125 yards and 2 touchdowns. It was a good one.
Yeah, that's always going to help.
Jefferson on the bye as well.
And the Vikings D on the bye, and the Vikings D have been scoring well. He's got Anthony Richardson sitting there on his bench. Is it time to get rid? Is it? I mean, his legs are going to make him fine for fantasy, isn't he? I mean, well, he's got Flacco, so yeah, so he'll be putting him straight back in once he's ready to go. But yeah, I mean, a great win for Chris. It puts him 4-2 now, you know, and he's been up there the last few years, and he'll be looking for another wee run to the playoffs this year. You know, I don't think anyone's ever got 8 wins and not made it.
Richardson was ready to go last week. He was a backup. He could have played last week. They had him as a backup.
I mean, if I were Indianapolis, I wouldn't
Oh,
play
the
him
Brooks.
either at the moment. I would keep him on the bench and keep playing Flacco. But it's a case of, do you want to win later or do you want to win now? Because if you want to win later, you
Yeah.
put Richardson back in and let him learn. If you want to win now, you keep Flacco in. So that's a big question for the Colts, if you ask me. But either way, he's got both of them, and it's and Flacco scores through the air and Richardson scores with his legs, so he'll score points at quarterback all the way,
Yeah, well, Flacco
So
helps
yeah,
everybody else. Richardson helps himself.
it's looking good for Chris. I would say, he's got
Oh, definitely.
Godwin's seems to be doing really well with Mayfield. I still can't quite understand Mayfield, but there you go. He's doing really well, and as long as Flacco stays in, Downs will score well. It's the problem he has with Downs there is if Richardson comes back in, but he's got Jefferson to come back anyway. As for Doug's team, Doug's team's gone really well as well. He's got AJ Brown back now and flying. You know,
Yeah.
um, he's got losing Collins to IR was a sore one, but that's not a season ender for Collins, is it? He will be back after 4 weeks,
Yeah, I think he'll
5
be
weeks.
back, and obviously Neighbours will hopefully be back this week. So
Neighbours will be back from
that'll be
this week.
2 weeks.
Tua will
So
be back for him come playoff time. So I mean, at 3-3, you're fine. You're 500. 7-7 gives you a chance of getting in. If you go the whole season 500, but he'll be looking to kick on now, Doug, and he'll have his eye on the playoffs as to.
yeah, we'll go into yourself now. So you got the Kirkwall Raiders 95.32 against the Show Me the Packers 56.6.
Well, we really don't need to go into this one, do we?
Well,
Anyway, let's
if I have
see.
to go into my one, we're going into your one.
So Alan, he obviously lost to Doug last week, the week before, so was leaning to bounce back. I'd lost. This is my third loss in a row now. But I started the season 3 wins in a row. Taylor flying, Stevenson flying, Achan flying.
And they're all out.
Even Ridley was scoring points back then, and one's on bye week and would have been out anyway with a concussion. One's out with a foot injury, and Taylor, I don't even know what's wrong with him, but the three of them are all out. What chance have you got? So I'm in a losing streak, but I'm in a losing streak because I've not got any running backs. I had to go fishing there in the agency again this week, and Foreman was about the only thing that I could find. At least I did have Sermon, but Sermon done nothing this week either. So yeah, it's not looking good for me at the moment, Johnny. It's the good start to the season, the sweeping of the division.
Yeah, but you can still do that if you get them all back for the second half.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm 3-3, and I get them back, and it's Thomas is going to do a lot better than that a lot of the time. Mooney will do better than that. I've not given up on Ridley yet. I've got Wicks on Dontavian Wicks on the bench, who I do think will come back and have some big weeks as well. So I'm not. I'm far from out of it. I don't think I'm dead, but 56 points is not a good score when you've lost all three running backs. So what can you do? Allen, great result for him. Back on track. I think that makes him 4-2 now. He'll be delighted that Brees Hall came back and showed up again. Obviously, Joe Burrow's doing Joe Burrow things, and he's back to 15
You
points,
hope to
maybe
get
not the best
Robinson
this
back
week.
this week as well. If you get
Yeah, he'll
that is
get
against
Robinson back.
Baltimore. So.
Waddle back off bye, but I mean Waddle's not really a thing until Tua comes back, is he? Really?
No,
But yeah, I
he'd
mean
be
he's
happy enough. Although Lamb and Ferguson are on byes this week because Dallas are on a bye.
so he's going to need to get busy to replace them, and I mean he's lost he's lost Rice to IR obviously as well there, and he's got Kamari Vidal in there, and he had a good game when he had a really good game there. I can see, and of course with the Gus Bus on IR. I think Vidal's going to get some touches, so that could be a sneaky wee play for him in the coming weeks, to see what goes on there.
But no, it's a
But
good
yeah,
win, 4-2.
it's a great win for Alan. It really was.
And with a
As I
high
say,
flyer,
it's
not good for you.
I'm in the losing bus train, so I need to get off it. I need to get off it quick.
So they're now 5-1 with a 5-game win streak. Factory of Sadness, 86 points. I think the boys are back in town, 58.76. And that's
Yeah, it's half in it. Defending bloody
lost that.
champions in a 5-1 in a 5-game win streak. It's freaky how he does it. It really is. But yeah, he's lost Shahid to IR. It was a great. I mean, it's 86 points. It's plenty in this one, you know. But when you look at what he had out, he had Jones out. He had
Hello.
to that well, I guess. Darnold out. Okay, right, okay, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, not much. And he had Zamir White out as well. I mean, and Hull, so his team picked itself, really.
Yeah.
So Sean's going to have to get active now because he's obviously lost Shahid. I mean, I think I am absolutely gobsmacked that there hasn't been a trade went through yet. He must be champing at the bit to get a trade in and get play. I mean, he's going for back-to-back.
Well,
No one's
I
done
did get off. I got offered a trade earlier in the season, but I swiftly rejected it because it was a pound of shit. And my team is shit, so that was
welcome to Sean's trades. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's I'll be surprised if he's not chasing, if he's not running about trying to get another, maybe get a running back in, get another running back in.
considering he
He's
had all
got
the running
chased.
backs. He had 5 running backs, remember?
He'll maybe go and try and get someone in for Shahid now that he's lost Shahid. Get trade. I mean, he's got Derrick Henry there, I guess. Bucky Irvin's going to do okay there at running back, but you know, it's when you've got to play Justice Hill, that's when it's you've got to start thinking elsewhere.
Well,
And as
he's got
for Ross,
Njoku,
you know,
obviously that would be the number 1 receiver in Cleveland.
it should be. It should be. It's and it's all Watson can do is dump offs these days. So Njoku should do very well for the rest of the season. But he's going to have weeks that he only gets kind of 3 points, but he'll have his bigger weeks as well, and I think they'll be more often than the shorter ones. But boys are back in town. What's going on, Roscoe?
Well, he
It's
lost a
0-6, the only 0 not to go. But it was, I mean,
bloody hell, Ross.
He's lost Olave. Olave's out this week, so he's down. Tajay Spears not doing much for him, is he? Brad Allen's he's going to he'll have his big weeks, but he's going to have weeks where he scores 0.80. I'm afraid that's just how it's going to be with him. Hall had a big game this week, so I mean, I think it actually does help the running backs as well. Adams coming in because it will make
I'll open up the lanes.
it will make. It'll open up lanes, exactly. That's it, and they'll do a lot of play action. They'll do a lot of draws, So I do think it'll be good for him. It'll be Mark Andrews. It's time to put him back in now. It's I understand not playing him, but he's found the end zone now. It's time to put him back in, I would imagine. So that's a good one to unleash this week on me. Xavier Legette. He's been doing, he's been getting a few catches and such now, so might be, so he does have options there. It's not a terrible team. Tank Dell's going to, Nico Collins out. That's Tank Dell showing up now.
Jalen Warren might get better because that was his first game back.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, Warren will do okay.
Russell Wilson's a quarterback, is it not?
Yeah, Wilson's a quarterback this week. Yeah, so
he can't run. So it'd be dump off passes or deep ball interceptions for Russell Wilson.
I mean, I do believe that the first one's not a million miles away for us. I mean, it's going to. You would say it's kind of season over in terms of making the playoffs, but get a couple of wins on the board and get a bit of form going into the consolations and try and nail yourself that first pick for next year. And of course, remember there is prize for winning the consolations as well. So big week for him this week.
Definitely. But we'll get to that in a minute. So then we've got the Tartan Bears. Is that the highest scoring team? The highest scoring team of the week. 111.28 against what the hell? There it is. Against Scheme Team 87.22. So Alan's now on a 3-game losing streak, but like myself, and a 3-game win streak for Joe.
Yeah, Joe beat Le'Veon on a prayer last week as well. It was a great one, 94 points to 89, so a tight one as well. And Alan, as you say, lost last week, but he did lose it to 105 points for Flying Eagles, 90 points himself, so it wasn't a disaster last week. And this week's no disaster either. It's 87 points, it's a decent haul in this league. And he's just ran into 111 points. He's ran into a big score. But when you look down the team, Jackson fine, Connor fine, Eckler fine, Sutton fine, Samuel fine, McBride fine, Smith and Jigba fine. There's plenty. He's got plenty there. So
did they drop the kicker? That Everton heaving cut. The Green Bay kicker.
Yeah. Is he not? I thought.
Yeah, have they got McManus now? Is it?
Is it? I don't know. To be honest with you, Johnny, I've not seen. I have no idea.
I think Green Bay got the cut Narbison, and they picked up Brian McManus. I think. Is that the old Denver
Doug
kicker?
had said something about. Doug had said something about the 49ers picking up. I know Packers kicker. It wasn't him, was it? Tell me it was him. That would be funny.
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I saw Green Bay picked up McManus. So
McManus.
you can kick the
I'll
ball.
take that. That's fine. You can kick a ball.
Just keep him away for the
not bloody hard job anyway. They should all be able to do it. But yeah, no, I'll take McManus. McManus is fine. But yeah, so yeah, he's on a 3-game losing streak, but he's scoring okay, and the players are fine. So on the bench, what's he got on the bench? I mean, he's got Gibson there on the bench. It might be, is it time to start Caleb Williams now? I would say you're probably thinking about it. Obviously,
Lamar Jackson.
He's on bye. Oh,
well, plus he's playing Lamar
Jackson. That's a problem.
Yeah, so you'd be playing him a week 14. That'd probably be about
it. Who's Sean's quarterback again? Is Sean going to go shopping for a quarterback? Because if he's going shopping for a quarterback, he wants to go and speak to Alan, so he does. But yes, oh no, he can't. No trading for Alan, eh?
Yeah, no trading for Alan.
Trading ban.
People remember
but
that.
Yeah, it's a 3-game losing streak, but it's not a bad 3-game losing streak. Like it's not like mine, where I'm not scoring points either. And these players are all fit and good to go. So I see Alan turning that round very quickly. And Joe's at it again. Another one that's been in the playoffs the last few years, a regular appearer and looking to get there again and scoring very, very well.
He's got Devante.
Yeah, he's got Tony Adams. Big move for him there, and it can only be good for the Devontae Adams owners. I'm going to the Jets, obviously he's got the rapport with Rodgers already, so it's the Wilson owners who are going to be smarting on that one. But great for Joe that he's went there. Obviously he's not got Swift this week; he'll be on bye week. But when you look at the rest of the team, he's even.
You've got Chandler back.
Drop Lazard now. You would imagine Lazard will get dropped. He'll drop Lazard now. He'll no want to be sitting on the two of them. But he's got St. Brown there,
Noah Fant probably plays. I think Goddard might be out. I'm not sure, but he left the game pretty early last week. Well, at least he's got
I mean, Fant's fine to plug in, isn't he? It's not a.
If he gets a 6 point at tight end, it's not bad.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. 6 points is plenty for a tight end. It doesn't find the end zone. Tight ends are very. If you don't get a touchdown, that's kind of what you're going to get out of the most of the tight ends. 6, 7 points at the most. But they're very touchdown dependent.
Yes. There we go on.
And he's got Montgomery's doing great as well for him. Montgomery's absolutely flying for him. And just getting that 2-year contract as well. That'll just. I think he's going to do really well for him. So yeah, Joe's going along the right way, and I can see Joe being a playoff contender again this year.
Yep, he's getting used to it now. You got Le'Veon in a prayer, getting back to their winning ways up against Parks Flying Eagles, who lost after a winning one. So it's 86.12 against 59.56.
Yeah, so I just say Michael
scoring minus points.
Prescott scoring minus points. You got to love it, and still winning. 86 points is, again, it's a decent enough score. He was 89 points last week and lost, though. So nice to get he'll be glad to get back onto the winning trail. And I mean, it's a bit of a fall from grace for Graham, isn't it? Flying Eagles, 105 points last week, 59 this week. But yeah, he gets done with the Cook Monday night problem where, I mean, all to the goodness he was playing. Everyone said he was playing and was always going to be playing, and then he didn't. So
Yeah, a bit of a sore one.
not much can do about that. You know, Ayuk's kind of not done anything again. He's went back to the Ayuk who's been paid. Pitt's not so much. You know, okay, again 7 points for your tight ends. Can't overly complain. Cooper, he'll be delighted with Cooper going over to Buffalo. That's a massive move for him. It really is. That's
Yeah,
that
yeah.
that could make a season here, I think, for Graham, because he's lost here. It's just been a bad week, you know. It's nothing to lose any sleep over. None of them are injured. Just, you know, McLaurin aside, there's no touchdowns, and when there's no touchdowns, there's no points. So
No.
and Kyler, you know, yeah, 1 touchdown, but 13 points. I'd expect a
And
heck
a
of a lot
fumble.
more from Kyler Murray, and you will get a lot more from Kyler Murray. You got a lot more from Barkley. You've got a lot more than 0 for Cook. So, yeah, just one of those weeks for Graham. He brushes it off. He's up there. He's flying. He's doing absolutely fine. And he's got the team there to crack on. Michael doing what he does in the regular season. You know, he's just going to be praying to all it's holy that he can finally put together a playoff run, because you've got to imagine that he's going to be there now.
His bench wasn't bad.
I mean, it's time he
25,
can put
15,
Michael.
16.
He can put. Do you hold on to Mike Williams in the hope that he gets traded, or do you just chuck him to agency?
I would chuck him. Then he'd probably have a good game.
Yeah, well, he's not. He's not. I mean, he's done with the Jets now. Aaron Rodgers called him out and everything. He's done with the Jets. That's that.
I would
He's
have
got
done, but
Mixon
to
to
be
unleash
honest, he's
again.
not.
He's got Hill
Tracy,
coming back into.
Davis, if Cook doesn't play. You've got to think that Davis will get some talk after last week's game. That he'll get some. He'll get more and more touches now, because that was a good. He did
Yeah, I
well
mean,
last week
you would think
against
so.
that Jets defense as well, because that's a hard
Yeah.
defense to play against. But yeah, Mixon
Yeah,
was
I mean,
something
there's
else.
talk that Cook might not go again this week, but I do think that he's very much he will get some
Yeah,
touches now. You know, when you have a good game like that as a rookie, you want to kind of keep feeding it and just get, you know, see if you can get him on a wee hot streak. So yeah, I do see him getting touches. Don't get me wrong, I still think Cook will get very much a majority, but I can see him getting 7 or 8 touches, which might be enough to, you know, maybe 10
yeah,
touches, which might be enough to get him serious points. So it's very much an option for him, but I'm not sure you bring him in over Dobbins with
no.
Gus the Bus on IR. You're not bringing him in over Kamara. And who's on
Is
his
Kamara not staying
and
with
Pollard
a fractured rib?
and therein lies Michael's issue. He can't play him even if he wants to, because you cannot drop Pollard right now. You cannot drop Dobbins right now, and you cannot drop Kamara right now.
Yeah, that's the problem. Having another good
That's a
running back
problem.
since only one flex.
It's the problem I had in week 3 with Charbonnet. I really wanted to play him because Walker was out, but I couldn't because Stevenson was flying and Achan was flying and Taylor was flying. So and now I could now I've not even got him in my team. I think he's in Grote's team or something, which really annoys me as well because I wanted him back too. But yeah, great win for Michael and Graham. 4-2, nothing to worry about. A lot of 4-2s kicking around though, you know.
Yeah, I've got too many on my side. Then you got the Eskimo Brothers 73 against the Batman's Boobies on a 4-game win streak. 85.92. He's on a roll.
I mean, Johnny, it's no
He
even
was
funny.
complaining about playing Purdy number 30 on the bench, and he goes get Jordan Love, he scores 33.
It's not even funny. How is it happening? And he said at the start of the year, Ray, that it's going to be the year of the boobies. And I mean, the way it's went, it looks like it's going to be the year of the boobies. I mean, how has he put it together?
I don't know. He had 90 odd points against me the week before.
He lost, you know, he's exactly in 85 this week. I mean, he's got Rashawn Johnson's showing up now. You know, Diggs is doing very well for him too. You
He
know,
is doing
he's
well.
getting
I
to
think he's
come
got
back
20
off
points
fire.
the week
I
before.
mean, his first two his only keeper and his second round pick are both on IR, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
and he's got Purdy and Love kicking around. So but I mean, he's playing Sanders, he's playing Miles Sanders, and he's scoring 85 points. Great win for Batman's boobies, and long may it continue. I want Ray to have the run, I really do. And at 4-2, he is in with a shout this year of making playoffs. And you know yourself, Johnny, that once you're in, get to the top 8, and then anything can happen on those Sundays. The 8th seed beats the 1st seed on a regular basis. So
Yes.
go on, Ray. And Sean, he's now down to 2-4. It's after winning last week. So Sean, as you say, Ray beat you last week with 92 points, and Sean got 100, had a 100-point week last week against Mark's coping badly Jets. So Drake London and Mike Evans doing it specifically in the Broncos D for him. So yeah, running into this week, he must have been quite confident, but it's Batman's boobies is just doing funny things, and when you've got Travis Etienne scoring minus points for you, it can't be a good thing. And it's that's going to be a worry. And I mean, he's still going to be the number one, of course he is, but it must be worrying how Etienne started. Etienne owners must be panicking. I would be panicking. I traded him
Yeah.
to Doug in local shop for local people as well, and he thought he was loving the trade. Not so much now. But anyway, it's yeah, Sean's needs to get himself going again. After we lost there, and the team's not looking brilliant for it, to be fair. But you never know. You never know.
Yes. And the one I don't want to talk about.
Well, talk us through it, Johnny.
Uh, well, obviously losing Ford early on didn't help, and I'm still absolutely raging about Kenneth Walker not standing fucking still and pulling back a 50-yard touchdown, which would have been nice points for him and for the quarterback. But no, yeah, losing Ford's a sore one. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know.
that's pretty much Ford. That Chubb's back. It looks like it's. I think that's the Ford experiment done. I would say.
I don't know. I think he'll be back up to Chubb when Chubb's back, but when he is back,
Yeah,
but
maybe, but I
it
think
might be the
Ford is still
hunt
going
to
to get
Chubb.
some touches.
But yeah,
and you've still got Strong kicking about there who might steal some touches, So it's just murky behind Chubb, and of course when Chubb comes back, he's not going to be. They're not going to give him 20 touches week one, So there is still
yeah.
time for, I guess, but I would be scared to play him now. Jerome Ford, I have to say,
Well,
I would
he's
be
out this
benching him if
weekend,
I
they said.
possibly could.
Well, that's what I
It
have
would
to.
be a
He's out, so
No, he's out now, yeah, so you can't now at the moment, but. Yeah, I mean the
yeah,
Metcalf thing's just one of those things, Johnny, and it's cost you the tie, as you say. But
yeah,
what's that? You 2-4 now.
yeah. Unfortunately, 2 game losing streak. Nice win for
Ingram's
Mark, though.
back.
Gets up to 2-4 as well. Thing
Smith's
is,
doing you fine. Gibbs is going to do much better than the 9 points week in, week out. Dubs, you must have been delighted that he had the game he had and he's come back
oh
after
yeah,
suspension.
definitely.
But
Lose the Eagles' defense losing late the points to Cleveland was not nice. Because
no,
obviously,
no, yeah,
with
that's it.
5 stacks, if
That's
they
it.
kept the points down, that would have been a difference too. Well, you can look at
But I
the.
mean, you unfortunately ran into Mark when Garrett Wilson decided finally had a game, So it's that was a tad unfortunate.
Well, I needed him to score 10 points or less on Monday night. And with that
Yeah,
total touchdown, that was basically it.
yeah,
So,
that
so I wish the
yeah,
referees
you needed him not to
hadn't
get
changed it,
touchdown.
then that'd have been it. But it was a good catch and a good total tap, but still fucking annoying.
I'm sure. And
But
Bejan showing up as well, after a couple of dodgy, silly weeks. Has Mark got a quarterback on the bench?
Rogers,
He's got Rodgers on the bench, yeah, just
yeah,
because Fields is out now, that's him done. But yeah, I mean, it's I think that's Mark 2-4 now. Is it 2-4?
yeah, we're both 2-4. So we'll go to the
It's two
table.
and four, yeah. So long way back for Mark, I have to say. Because the team just doesn't. He has got Kelsey showing up now, though. So, but Mark's another one who has a way. Mark has a way of finding points out of absolute dross. So I don't think he's out the chase yet at all.
Well, at the moment, current standard, obviously, it's not going to happen. Somebody sitting across from here is now currently dropped out with the playoff spots at
Jeez,
3
at
and
3 and
3
3.
because
Oof.
obviously I just you're in ninth there. So obviously you got 5 and 1 for the Factory of Sadness, 3 and 3 for yourself, and 3 and 3 for Doug, 2 and 4 for Groty. Then in south you've got Kirkwood Raiders 4 and 2, Bluetooth Patriots 4 and 2, Graham pushing you out the top 8 and 3 and 3, and obviously Boys are back down 0 and 6. Farts Flying Eagles 4 and 2, Tartan Bear 4 and 2, Batman Boobies 4 and 2, then Cooking Badly Jets 2 and 4, and then Lebanon a Prayer getting a two game lead, going 4 and 2 over Scheme Team, Escobras, and myself, all 2 and 4.
Yeah, that's
So
massive down in your division, isn't it, for Michael? That's I mean, he's kind of two game lead after 6 weeks is huge at the top of the division. So you know he's probably starting to think, must be starting to think about playoffs. I would say so anyway, even before the halfway point of the season. The East though, look at how tight that is with the three of them 4 and 2. You know, Mark's going to need to find a win this week to keep. He doesn't want to lose touch too much there, you know, because he's got to. I mean, and you've still got to play them all, so you can still effectively beat them all. But if you're 2 games behind them, it doesn't matter if you beat them, you know.
well,
So
Tartan Bears have scored 584 points. They're flying with the point score.
yeah, they're 100 plus on a regular basis. They really are. They're going really well. Down there in the south, you know, again you've got the 2 4 and 2s and Graham, you know, starting to fly
Coming
at
along.
3 and
Yeah.
3. So plodding along just nicely. So you know, Ross is gone. There's no ifs, no buts, no maybes. I
Yeah.
mean, listen, I say that there's still what 8 weeks left to go. If he goes on an 8 game winning streak, he makes the playoffs. So he's not out of it yet. And
Well, not
there's every
technically, no.
chance he gets a win this week, which we'll see momentarily. And in my division, yeah, well, Sean's got to the top of it again. I obviously can't win it because I can't beat anybody else outside it. But you know, it's at 5 and 1, he's
I'll
got
tell
a
you, you
2 game
might, you
lead as
might play
well.
me in a couple of weeks, so you never know. But yeah,
You know, he's got that 2 game lead as well at the top, Sean. So it's looking very pretty for the defending champion, which is scary. And it's what is that 573 points he's got as
second
well.
highest
So
scorers, yeah.
it's
So
you know the back to back is on. It is
very
on.
much so. So who's in week 7, is it?
So week 7.
Who we're looking at? Well, I've got the Tartan Bears who are on a 3 game win streak, and projected to get my arse fucking tanned again because
So let's see
my team
where we
my
are.
team is fucked. So I have no running backs. I had to pick up Pierce
Yeah,
Strong just to get a running back because obviously
I
Pacheco's on
mean
a fucking IR. So
well, and Ford's out. Foreman's also questionable, and Foreman, I believe Foreman missed practice entirely on Wednesday. So Strong is a good. Strong might get you some points this week, Johnny. It's to be
hopefully
fair, you know,
I need it.
it's a good pickup. You know, Dubs is just against Houston. That should be a high scoring game.
Yeah,
Robinson and Neighbours. I think Neighbours coming back helps Robinson because he will get a lot of attention, and Robinson scores points. You know, he has scored points with Neighbours there. Metcalf,
yeah,
you know, let's hope that there's no that Walker stays put this week. And
bloody right.
it's a decent, you know,
I
you
put in
might
Stafford as well,
get it,
just for hopefully Cup will be back. Get Stafford to throw the ball at Cup all the time. It is against Vegas.
yeah,
It's a hard one.
exactly. And you can see Joe's already plugged Adams in there, and you wouldn't even think that he'd a couple of players on bye week, would you? But we know he does because we know that he has his customary bails.
I know.
So
Well, there, that's a bye. Swift, Aubrey, and the Bears. Yeah, it's got the Jets against
yeah,
Pittsburgh. They could score a
right.
lot of points against
Yeah, I
Russell
mean, well,
Wilson.
Wilson's throwing it, yeah, so they could get anything. Yeah, I mean, it's
They
going to
could
be a
either get
tight one, so
torched or
I believe
score.
this one. It'll be a tight one. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. But I think Strong could make a difference for you there because I think Strong's
Hopefully,
going to score points this week.
Then up we go. The Factory of Sadness against the Kirkwall Raiders. So 5-1 against 4-2. This would be a good one.
So that's a 5-game win streak. Sean's carrying into this game, and I mean Alan's sitting 4-2, going very well, and he's
1 seed against 2 seed. So
can he be the first of the East to beat Sean this year? It's he's got Lamb out, he's got Ferguson out. That's going to make it a bit tougher. But I mean, if you've got enough in your team to leave Pops Douglas on your bench, then that's going to be a good thing after the week he had last week. What's he got? He's playing Waddle over him. I'd play Douglas. I would see if I were Alan, I'd play Douglas over Waddle. I've got to say, Waddle's getting absolutely nothing from Huntley, and I don't see that getting overly better against. I know Indianapolis defense isn't very good, but yeah, I would be plugging in. I wouldn't go with Waddle this week at all. Absolutely not. He's got Williams is up against a tough defense as well, and he's been awfully quiet last couple of weeks after an exploding start to the season. But you know, he's that type of player that he could just bust out a 20-pointer, no problem. You know, it's so yeah, it's again, it's the games always look tight at this stage, though, don't they? It's
yeah,
but it's a very tight one. But Sean will be looking to get himself 6-1 and really start thinking about the playoffs. And Alan's division's tight, you know, so every game's an important one at the moment.
Oh, here we go. Doug against Graham.
Oh, that's a big game.
Both 3-3.
That's a big game. And it's at both 3-3. You know, there's a difference between 4-3 and 3-4 at the turn.
So
I know
the big question is,
not a bad place to be.
Does Graham drop Cole Kmet to get a tight end? Because he's not got a tight end.
Oh, please. Oh, please.
You'd be like sitting there going, where is it? Where is it?
Run me down to his bench, Johnny. Run me down to his bench. Who's he going to drop? No, he'll drop Wilson.
He'll drop the team anyway, because you've still got Mostert, Cup, Williams, and Mahomes here. Yeah,
Mahomes will stay in his bench. I don't think he'll not play Mahomes. He'll play Daniels. 100% he'll play Daniels over Mahomes, and I don't disagree. He will put Kieran Williams in, though, and he'll pick up a tight end for Wilson. He'll drop Wilson. Who's he got there? Zach Moss. Oh, he's gone off a bit, but he's got Harris there. He's got Flowers there. Did you say, he's got Moss to plug in, and he's got Williams to plug in. So yeah, no, that's once they're plugged in, Graham's got to go favourite. You know, Doug's got Neighbours back, which is great for him. Well, hopefully have Neighbours back, which is great for him. But he's got Dowdle on by, who's chunking away okay, isn't he? He's not knocking out the park. He's got Guerrero there that might be worth a throw in if Mixon's maybe still struggling from the injury that he picked up. But I mean, he had a good week this week. And of course, Cousins at quarterback. So yeah, I mean, this could go either way. It really could. I make Graham favourite, but very, very tight one again.
It will be a close one. And next up, we have the Blue Toon Patriots, the high-flying Blue Toon Patriots, 4-2 up against the Varsity Blues, Groty.
Yeah, it's 2-game win streak for Chris now after losing the first one against our division. And up against Groty now. It's a big game for Groty, this one. You know, his team's okay now. You know, he was panicking about it for a bit there, but he is 2-4. And I would say that this is a big one, and it's a big one for Chris too, because at 4-2, there's 2 of them there. He needs to keep up the 4-2. You know, Graham's breathing down their neck and not going to go away. At this point, every game's a big game for the division. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see what happens here. And it's you know, it looks like it's going to be a tight one again. Groty's got, you know, the worry would be Jamal Williams and what's he going to do, Mattison and what's he going to do. But Fryermouth, you know, he must be delighted that it's Wilson that's coming in now, because as much as he's a bit bomb scared, at least he's a pocket passer. You know, he's not. He's not Fields. You know, Fields' passing's been awful, so at least I've got a good passer coming in, so that might work in Fryermouth's favour big time. That there you go. He's got Charbonnier now. He took my Charbonnier off me, and and he's handcuffed him with Walker, so he doesn't miss out next time Walker gets injured. Not a bad idea, Groty.
Definitely. But now it should
And
be a close one. What have we got next?
yeah, it'll be a close game. And Chris has got Singletary there plugged in. You get Mason, both question marks next to their name. He'll be hoping both of them play this week.
It's got Algier and Bigsby if they don't play, or Tucker if he wants to go with them. So,
yeah, I'd actually think about playing Bigsby, to be honest with you. I think he's going to do very well this year. Because I'm not an Etienne fan, I've got to say.
So, is Spears
yeah,
out?
here we go.
Spears just got a big zero. I don't think he's due to play this week. And Labby's out as well. So he's got a bye. He's not sorted his team out. You'll be happy with that,
then. Plenty of time to do so. But yeah, I mean, he's got Warren. He's got Warren to come in. He's got Leggett to come in, and I would probably think that he'll bring in Andrews. He can't play Andrews in the flex. He's got a flex problem there as well. So yeah, I mean, he's got issues, Ross. There's no getting away from it. But the team is good enough to pick up wins. So he's got Cowboys defense on bye week as well. He'll need to get swap them out. But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping Taylor's back. I've got him plugged in. I'm hoping Achan's back. I've got him plugged in. I'm hoping Stevenson's back. He's plugged in. But will they be? Who knows? Mooney Thomas pretty much picking themselves at the moment because Ridley's so crap. I picked up Palmer as well, just as an option, and of course I've not got rid of Sermon yet because I'm not sure if Taylor's going to be playing or not.
No, I wouldn't drop him until Taylor's playing. That's it.
As soon as I know that Taylor's playing, Sermon's a goner.
Well, if Ross doesn't do anything with his team, it's a good way to get right the ship.
I'm sure Ross will do his team. He's not going to not do his team. But yeah, I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that it's certainly after losing to every other team in the East or the West, whatever one it is, the North or the South. The South, after losing to all three other teams in the South, it would be nice to get a win against them before we move on. And Batman's Boobies 4-game win streak. It couldn't come up against a harder game to try and keep it going.
Yes. Yeah,
Michael's team is just so strong all the way through. I like putting May in. I think that's a great move. He's got Prescott on bye, so he's had no option. But yeah, I think May done well last week, and it looks like he will do quite well with fantasy, because he's got legs as well. He is willing to.
He's got a good arm actually. That long touchdown pass was right on for money, like. But
that was some sort of record. I think that's the record for the longest ever first touchdown pass in the NFL. So it was a record of some sort that the touchdown pass was some sort of record.
They had another record as well. The first rookie to throw so much and to throw 3 touchdowns and run so much or something like that as well. But it popped up on the screen when the game was on. But
he had a good game. He's got a crap team, but he had a good game. But there's Mixon on you've got Mixon on the bench, Tracy on the bench. Even if Singletary's back, Tracy's done enough to garner his touches. Would you agree? As a Giants fan,
yeah, he's been playing well, like so.
Yes,
he was doing well when Singletary was there. He was getting his touches and he was making use of it before Singletary went out. So
and Davies there as well on his bench, a Doomsday on his bench. I mean, these rookies are just going to get better as the season goes on. It's a scary good team that Michael's got once more, so it'll be interesting to see how he manages to fuck it up in the playoffs. And as for Ray, well, he's been flying, so I don't know what to say. He's playing Miles Sanders, he's playing Trey Benson, he's playing Greg Dortch, he's playing blooming Quentin Johnson. I'm not being funny, but he's probably going to score 120 points. So
he'll probably win by 20 points or score 140 or something like that. But yeah, it's just
absolutely.
I don't know.
It's just how it's
like
happening.
You say, Jordan Love could be in a shootout. He could score throw 6 touchdowns, 500 yards. Sanders has 2 carries for 1 touchdown.
Weather dependent, obviously. Weather dependent. I think that will be a shootout for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it's Michael's an overwhelming favourite, but Ray's on a roll. So
any given Sunday and all that. This should be a So scheme team 2-4 against the 2-4 Copenhagen Jets. So a 3-game
Yeah,
losing
the
streak
scheme
against a
team.
1-game win streak. So
The
to
scheme
read,
team have been
what the hell?
scoring 90 odd points each time they're losing, though. It's Allen must be favourite here. Jackson, Connor, Eckler, Samuel, Smith and Jigba, McBride, and McBride. It's only a matter of time before he finds the end zone. It just has to be. Bateman's doing okay this season for some reason, So all very strong. Whereas Mark's got the Garrett Wilson problem of Devontae Adams coming in.
Yeah.
Worthy and Kelsey both backs going to help him no end. That Dobson's a kind of afterthought now, isn't he? With Brown and Smith both back,
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be playing him to be honest, but
and
we haven't really got
Perrine's.
much else to choose. So,
But that's the thing. Who do you put in? So yeah, I do make Allen a heavy favourite to snap that 3-game losing streak here. But as I say, Mark does funny things with funny teams. So we'll
yeah,
see.
Perrine will probably catch like a 60-yard screen pass touchdown to seal the game.
Exactly.
It's
That's
just something that's
exactly
going to
what
happen. Something crazy. And you
that
got the
happens all
Eskimo
the
brothers
time.
2-4 against Graham 4-1, both on a 1-game losing streak. We stick him with Murray.
Yeah. Yeah,
The
so
Arsenal
Graham
beat
just
the
had one
rest.
of those weeks this week, didn't he? 57 points, the first flying Eagles. But look at the score, look at it. Murray, Barkley, Cook, McLaurin, Ayuk, Pitts, Hunt, who's going to be the starting running back for the best offense in football. So it's a very,
Well,
very, very
I'd
solid
rather
team.
not talk about fantasy football at the moment, Chris. Sorry.
It's
I'm just
very
letting
well,
Craig
Chris.
do
I
all the
hope you're
talking.
well. I hope you're well, sir. But yeah, so Eskimo Brothers have got their work cut out for them this week. 2-4 really needs to find the win, does Sean? But Etienne's,
Well, he's
I
been
mean, it's
playing.
up against New England. If he's going to do it, he's going to need to do something soon, isn't he, for him?
He's going to have to
And
make up his mind because there's other running backs playing tonight. So
Kincaid's obviously going to need to get better some point soon. He's got Evans there, London, both capable of massive games, and Judy's with Cooper going to help Judy get more targets and stuff, isn't it? So yeah, I mean it's not an awful team. He's got a shout. It's not going to be a one-way streak. It's should be a
well,
close-ish
problem
game,
with
but you got to
problem
fancy.
with the targets is Deshaun Watson's thrown it.
Yeah, well, I
He's
know.
fucking awful.
And Judy is more of a down the field type guy, isn't he? But yeah, no, Fat Flying Eagles favourite, I would say, but it should be a close game. If Josh Allen can show up, it'll be a close game.
Yes, but she should do. But yeah, it should be a close game. But it's a good. There should be some good games this week. Unfortunately, mine won't be one of them. I'll be going 2-5 after this one, but we'll see. So
Is that listen? By the way, Chris, I'm not even being funny, but that's not even funny. Yes, errors in agency is key. So when you drop Cole Kmet to pick up a kicker when you're getting smashed anyway, you cheeky bastard.
oh, considering the fact you said you were just going to go without a kicker because you didn't want to drop anybody, and then you go and drop somebody is a bit. That is an error.
Well, I was trying to do the rope-a-dope and get Kmet back the next again week.
Oh,
Yes,
Chris
I
is
got
on
beat
fire.
down last week, but do you know what? What you don't win anything in week 5, Chris.
We don't win anything in the
That
first
is
6 weeks when it comes to the boys are back in town. Yes,
that is week 6 in the bag now, Johnny. We're now into the halfway stage of week 7 at this time next week. We are halfway through the season. Those on 4 wins and above will be
loving it.
very hopeful. Those on 3 wins and below will be looking to get a run going, and Ross will still be playing.
Hopefully. Obviously, Alan won't be finished with a bang before Aaron takes over, but like I say, Alan's team's not bad. So Aaron will have
Yeah, his team's good.
he'll have a bit of a headache for what keepers to keep next year for Aaron when he takes over.
It's, yeah, his team's very good. Yeah, I mean it's very good, and at the same time, I'd be starting again with it in the sense that there's none that I'm looking at and saying that's a definite keeper. It's a solid team, but who's going to go in the first round there? So yeah, I mean, it's poor Ross. Sorry, Ross. You know I'm kidding, pal. But yeah, it's. I would say I hope Ross finds his win this week, but he's playing me, so I'm really, 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 really torn.
So
But
come on, Ross, you can do it.
I wish everybody else luck apart from Doug, and
And Ross.
we'll see you in week 7.
Yeah, see you there, guys.